let's talk about R sessions. And let me first talk about the programs that you have in your computer. So on the left side, let's imagine we have the programs that are currently installed in our hard drive in our computer. So let's pretend that I have Microsoft Word and Excel installed in my computer. Now, whenever I open Word to edit a document, let's say some thesis, what happens is that there is a process of Word running in my memory. It's running there, I can use it, and I can just the same way open a second document with Excel. It's going to be something about expenses. And of course, I can open yet another document of Word. And what that means is that in memory, there's going to be multiple processes running of the same program. So you see that, for example, we have a first instance of Word over here and a second instance over here. The important thing to remember is that those two processes of Word are independent of each other. So whatever changes I make in the thesis document, they're not going to affect the CV document. Those are two different things. Whatever I configure in one is not to affect the configuration in the other one, etc. Now, of course, we know there's plenty of other programs that we can install in our computer. Things like Photoshop, Chrome, and of course R&R Studio. What do we do if we want to use one of those programs? Well, we know that normally we download some file from the internet and we use it to install the program. So let's say that I download Photoshop and I install it in my computer. After the installation process, there it is. Photoshop is installed in my hard drive so I can use it. How do I use it? Well, just like any other program, you just open it and start editing. Let's say that I'm editing a picture of the rain. So now that we have R&R Studio in our computer, the process is basically the same. We can open R like we did before and we start using it. If we want to open a second process of R, a second session, we can open again. And again, the important part to remember is that those two are going to be independent. What I do in R number 1 is not going to affect R number 2. If I have, let's say, a variable in this session here, let's say x equal 4, I can do x equal 42 in here, and that's fine. Those are two different x's. What I do in one R is not going to affect the other one. If I open RStudio, what happens behind the scenes is that RStudio executes a new R session for us. So it's kind of attached to RStudio. This third running instance of R is attached to this running instance of RStudio. And again, whatever I do here is not going to affect what happens here or here. If I open yet another RStudio, then same thing's going to happen. A fourth running instance of R is going to open over here and it's going to be attached to this RStudio. Whatever I do in here, I can do x equal 9. It's fine. It's not going to affect x here or there or there. Now, this might seem very trivial, but it's very important to realize that all those are different instances of R. Those are different sessions of R, and they're independent of each other. What we do in one is not going to affect the other one. That's important for something that we're going to see later. So let me illustrate here with two RStudios. Now, this is the one I opened before, where I defined X and Y. And this is a new RStudio that I opened right now. So it's going to be attached to a different R session. So if I try to see what the value of X over here, I get an error because X was not defined. Of course, I can do X equal, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the value of X. But the value of X over here is still going to be 90 because we didn't do anything here. Those are two different R processes running at the same time. But again, it's important to realize these are two different running instances of R. What we do in one does not affect the other.